Most of you will have already read in the media that the government is tightening and tightening kabisa restriction on social media use as we go into the general election, yeah, before and after. Okay, the whole idea is to control emotions and to avoid a repeat of what happened in the 2007 election, to avoid incitement of people getting worked up, and so on and so forth. Okay, now of course those who follow this channel religiously will already know that I carried a recording some time back informing you that you should expect a news blackout during the elections. Okay, and it seems that this is unfolding before our very eyes, because you can be sure that this social media blacking out of this social media coverage will also extend to the press. Yeah, there'll be very limited reporting. Okay, very limited. Okay, the whole idea is to get people not worked up. Now, let us be very honest. Our constitution guarantees us freedom of speech. Yeah, and in guaranteeing us that freedom of speech, it does not say that what I say people must agree with all the time. Okay, now as bad as it is, don't get me wrong, I know incitement is bad. I myself have talked against what happens in social media in our country for a long time on this channel. I keep on talking about it. Back, I think I've bored a lot of you people out there. Yeah, but still, there's a constitution and there's a law. Okay, now the government is stepping on very thin ice in the implementation of this. Okay, because let us examine 2007 a bit closely. I covered those elections very, very extensively, and I'd also covered other elections before that. And what I can tell you is that we have had very many peaceful elections where there's been a lot of media coverage. Okay, those days there was no social media, but there was a lot of media coverage of those elections, minute by minute, interviews with the people on the ground, people who had been rigged out, etc., etc. Okay, and we never had what we had in 2007. So this was not caused by what is in the media. We all know what caused the 2007, 2008 clashes. Okay, it was a stealing of the elections, pure and simple. Anyway, that is my view. I'm sure maybe you have a different view, but my view is that just like in 2013, there's a sinister motive behind all this. Okay, because first of all, if I can just express one very clear point, we've already seen some politicians inciting people on the ground. Yeah, I shall not mention them. You already know them. Okay, I've covered them extensively in this channel. To this day, although there's a lot of evidence of what they did, nothing has happened to them. Okay, but instead of first of all prosecuting those people and prosecuting the people spreading hate right there on the ground, in fact not using social media, live, face to face, the government is rushing to shut down social media, literally. Yeah, with what they call sensational reporting on social media. You know, people writing information or speaking information that is not verified. Okay, now isn't there double standards there? Yeah, you know, ignoring the elephant in the room and then going for the small flies on the walls. Yeah, anyway, that is the situation as it is, and there's nothing anybody can do about it because there's a government in power. There are ways of enforcing these things, and you can be sure that this thing will be enforced, because I also happen to know that a lot of money has been spent in this so-called monitoring of the social media. You can be sure you're going to be monitored, and you can be sure if you speak the wrong things, if you're used to those abusive things, you can be sure that you're going to be nabbed. Yeah, I don't know if they're going to do it selectively like they've done out there with the politicians, but we'll have to wait and see about that. Okay, in my view, what may have been may have made a lot more sense would have been to deal with the vernacular stations. Oh, a lot of very interesting, very nasty things have been happening on vernacular stations in this country. Okay, So if it is a problem of incitement or fearing people are going to be incited, if that is really the motive behind this, then they should have just dealt with the vernacular stations, monitored them, kept tabs on what they're saying, although they've already gotten away with already what they have said in the past. There's a very prominent vernacular station. I think most of you know the one I'm talking about. Okay, but that's the situation on the ground. However, I have a solution for you, and the solution I have is that you can be able to get your information, especially if you're out of the country, because you're not sure if we're going to have internet services locally in Kenya during the elections. I'm not very sure about that, okay, but that is a story for another day. But especially if you're out of Kenya, or you have, or you want to take a risk that the internet services will be working before and after the elections, I have a solution for you. Okay, now all you have to do is use the email in the description area of this video. Drop me an email, say that you're interested in the solution I have to ensure that you get information during the election, information that is not skewed, information that is not censored, proper information, because you can get information even on the local media that might confuse you more than inform you. For instance, because of this thing we have about tribes, you might get a report like we have a problem in the Rift Valley. A certain community has a problem with another community. And this other community has said this and this and this, and this other community has replied, and the communities are not being mentioned here. Anyway, if you want to get a very clear report of what is happening during the election, I have a solution for you. Just use the email in your comments, in the comments area of this video. If you're already a member to one of my mailing lists, you will receive an email telling you exactly what the solution is. But for the rest of you, just go into this description area of this video on YouTube, and I'll give you a solution of how you're going to be able to receive your news, how you're going to be able to receive your analysis as the election is before the election and after the election. Okay, loud and clear, and exactly the way it is in this channel. Okay, if you feel, of course, that this channel is very biased, you feel maybe I favor one of the candidates, although I don't, but that's your view, and it's your constitutional right to have your view. So if you feel that I favor one of the candidates, that's okay. You can ignore this recording. But if you feel that my reports are very balanced, and that I report that the truth, yes, and that you've had all these months to verify whether the information I give here is cooked or the truth of what is happening on the ground, if you like the information I give, then go over to the comments area, sorry, not comments, the description area of this video on YouTube. Get that email out right now. Don't postpone. Just write out the email, and I will respond to you immediately, tell you exactly what you need to do to ensure that you have a coverage of the election. Okay? This is Kumekucha. Until next time.